This is Orion Drift, and every week the players get a new unique parkour challenge to complete. And if they do so, they will be rewarded with a pattern to customize your robot. But my question is, which weekly parkour is the best one? Alright, here's our tier list. And as you can see, we have S, which is the best tier, A, which is the second best tier, B, which is not as good as A and S, but it's still very good, C, which is mid, D, that's bad, E, that is very bad, and finally F, which is horrible. Now that we know all the tiers on the list, let's jump to the first weekly challenge number 1. Weekly challenge number 1 is just one big carve, as you can see here, which makes it really short, boring, and very easy. But the thing with the first weekly parkour is that it had 2 routes. What we just saw was the first route, and here's the second one. But the sad part is that both routes were basically the same. So I was gonna put the first weekly parkour on E tier, but since it had 2 routes, I'm gonna put it on D tier. Let's move on to weekly parkour number 2. Weekly parkour number 2 is hands down one of the best weekly parkours in Orion Drift. As seen on the video, it's very long, has a huge variety of obstacles in the parkour, and it's overall just the perfect weekly parkour. But the thing is, I didn't get the chance to play this one. Yes, you heard that right, and that is because I didn't know how to get to the weekly parkour. Since the same week this challenge came out was the same week I started Orion Drift. But like I said, it looks very fun, and let's watch the whole parkour without me yapping. That right there was peak cinema. But since I never played it, I'm not sure if I can put it at S, but I will put it in A. Let's move on to weekly parkour number 3. Weekly parkour 3 was the weekly parkour of carving. It used almost every single carving method, including floor carving, wall carving, and even ceiling carving. This was also the first weekly parkour I ever played, and I could barely wall carve, so I had no chance of beating this. I think a lot of people found this one really hard, but now when I'm looking back at it, I think this one would be really fun if you knew what you were doing. I'm going to put this one in B tier. And now it's time for weekly parkour number 4. To be honest, this one is mid. Why is it mid? Probably because you did the same thing over and over and over. No, but it's actually fun and boring at the same time because it's very satisfying when you complete the whole challenge. I think the perfect rank for this is C. Now it's time for weekly parkour number 5. For me, this challenge was amazing. This was the first challenge I actually grinded, and I actually met so many friends and nice people from it. Now let's take a look at the actual challenge. this is an obvious S tier, and it's probably my favorite weekly challenge of all time. Now let's move on to weekly parkour number 6. You start off with pretty high speed, and then you jump to do a quick ceiling carve to the next platform. And keep in mind, this weekly parkour was zero gravity, which made some parts easier and some parts harder. I found this one very fun, but also a bit too easy on some parts because of the zero gravity. But like I said, it was still fun. B. Number 7. Oh my gosh, lightning. Wow, lightning. This parkour introduced us to pinch carving, but in my opinion this challenge was kinda boring and also very easy, so I'll put it in C tier. It's time for weekly parkour number 8, which in my opinion is also one of the best in the game. Roll the clip. This challenge gave us the brand new sparkles pattern as well as the sparkles colors. The parkour starts off with some carves. And then a huge jump to this platform over here. And over here you have to ceiling carve. The reason I love this weekly parkour is because 1, it's really fun, and 2, it was pretty challenging, which means you really gotta earn the pattern, if you know what I mean. This parkour was super fun, so I'm putting it at S tier. Let's move on to number 9. As I'm recording this was last week's challenge. And it was also the last chance to earn the tiger pattern, which means that the tiger pattern is now the most rare pattern in the whole entire game. This one was super hard if you didn't use any shortcuts, so if you made it without shortcuts, comment down below. I'll give it a B tier. Now it's time for the last weekly parkour, which is the current one. This is 100% by far the easiest parkour challenge of them all. It took me like 10 minutes, I think, to complete this. And it's super short. As you can see, it's nothing special. It's just jumping between blocks and collecting cubes. But if you don't have a pattern, this is the perfect parkour for you, because it's really easy. I'll put it in C tier. And here's the finished tier list. Let me know what you think in the comments. I love you, and I'm out.